Right, I'll go to mine now. So my bad point is one that, dude, I haven't heard this topic come up on any shows. This just shows what we were talking about earlier about the power of brands. And if you're the big team, you know, every story in the world's like obsessing about it. And if you're a smaller brand, people just don't give a fuck. How is no one else as annoyed as I am at Furia without Henny? Is this a joke?
God.
Like, this team was no joke when Henny was in the team. One of the best teams in the entire world. Like, I don't care that when they first came to Europe, they didn't know. That was like months and months into the online era, and even then, they thought they were shit. They just lost some series to the best teams in the world. Like, if you remember, Furia the year before, when they first came online, was the fucking streaky team that was mad fluky. They didn't have Henny back then. Then, they not only leveled up experience and the style of play got better, then they added Henny, who had like a career year, was a fucking really good AWPer. Their whole team was pretty much dangerous, like relative to the role, team balance, fragging balance, personality. Everything was awesome about this team. They were one of the hardest teams to not only beat, but they were one of the best teams to watch. That's why I used to say to people, it's a fucking sick team to follow. But then, because Henny had to go and, as usual, fuck his career up because he has to play with his brother over and over again, like some sort of shit version of The Prestige, but as a sports movie. So he has to go and do that for some reason. Straight fire reference. And then secondly, we have this whole thing where they've just brought in, like, first of all, they brought in the Honda guy, and then all y'all told me after like one fucking half of CS, like, it is the future, and then it literally, by the way, by the time the map had ended, you were like, maybe this, you know, cold water to the face, he's actually not good. Then they brought in Junior, where, like, if I assumed when he joined the team, right, he must have some like basic level of Portuguese or something. The idea he was still learning as he was going, like, some of y'all are just fucking so stupid. They're thinking that Brazilians are going to play with one guy speaking busted Portuguese. It was never going to happen. Then also, you think Brazilian fans are going to go easy on the one non-Brazilian person in the team? Are you fucking kidding me? Have you ever met Brazilian fans? They can fucking tear up Brazilians. What do you think they're going to do to a non-Brazilian? I'll tell you what, just go ask the fucking security detail of about half of us legends when we go to Brazil. I'm never going to Brazil. Don't fucking need to. Better than Brazil. Right. So that's right. I'm just better than whole countries now, Mouse. Carte blanche. I'll just write them off. That's right. Thorin 1, Brazil 0. Right. Here's the thing I will say. There's no one left to get now, dude. Because the problem with Furia is they haven't really had any like big signings aside from Henny when he was a smaller name. Doesn't look as though they can get like a fall, and they don't seem to get big names like that. I'm depressed because I thought this team was so fire last year. Like, I thought for real, if we'd have had lands like summer last year, this team would be a dark horse to win. They were that good, I thought.
I'm especially annoyed because Henny, I've made it public multiple times, is just my favorite CSGO player from when I first got in the scene. Just so exciting, and just watch his career trajectory was a lot of fun, and to see how well he fit into the Furia system in 2020 was awesome. And then yeah, I think that Honda, like, he was at the Gamers Without Borders thing that I was on the desk for, and he was talking about how even though he was standing behind them for every game, it's still just so different being in the server, and it was very obvious that it was very rough for him. And my joke kind of in the green room was like, Honda it's impossible to see, like, this guy doesn't multi-frag ever. Because it feels like he is such in that mindset for Furia, and I don't know when he's going to break it, that it's like if he gets one, he wants to fall off, you know, he wants to play it the right way. And sometimes you just need to take that like round by the balls and just say, okay, I got a two-man spray down right here. I can transfer this if I hit it. But he always wants to just get one and fall. But then he moves back to the most typical spot possible, and then people just clear him because it's the most obvious angle that anyone's going to look at. And it's just like, it's not like he's extending a bad situation for his opponents. It's more like he's like a hit and run style player where he's just like gets one rifle kill, leaves. And sometimes he doesn't even get that kill because, you know, they're facing him in a 50-50 duel. So when he backs up, like, it's not like one thing I praised ZTR about was that when he fell back, he would throw a smoke at his feet. He would stand in that smoke for 15 seconds, be the most annoying player possible. Honda's just holding the angle and he dies. So it's a huge difference from Junior because one, Honda's not opping, and two, it's just like the caliber of the player and the role of the player is just not even close to the same from Henny to Honda. It's just completely out of whack. And the thing about the way Fury is playing now is that Art doesn't get to be a maniac anymore. He actually has to go for that opening kill, which he doesn't even go for every time now, and because he's the primary opper, and he just values his op as if he's a normal opper now. Like, he's neutered himself, where he's still good, he still puts up good performances, but it's obvious that he's not he doesn't have that flair anymore because he knows that his closer in a round is Honda as opposed to Henny, who was a top 20 ranked player in 2020.
Yeah, you kind of stole what I wanted to say about Honda there. I watched their ancient game against someone. The multi-kill part is just what I wanted to say, because every time I watched the demo, and I was like, okay, Honda needs to, like, he's getting 2 kills here or 3, no matter what. He barely gets 1. It's reoccurring situation. It always happens, and it's a struggle. Whenever he falls back as well, FURIA. On that topic, FURIA is probably one of the teams, or only team that I know in top 20, where I see them sometimes being 5v3 in their advantage, like their a 2-man advantage, but they're still their chances of winning a round is still below 50%. So the other team has upper hand. I see that constantly because just the way they're playing, and it doesn't happen to everyone. It's just FURIA. And their symptom of their play is that sometimes you read the lurk, or someone from FURIA makes it behind you, and you somehow spot them, but they don't spot you, so they don't know you know. Then you can play completely round. This is one of the worst situations in Counter-Strike as a pro player that you can get in. When you think you have a timing, but in fact the other team has timing on you because they spot you getting there, and then they react accordingly because you go into the brain of that player that thinks he has timing, and you think about what he's going to do, where he's going to flank, where he's going to wait for teammates, and where's the pressure going to come, and then suddenly you have upper hand even though you're 2 men down. So this is what I see only in FURIA, and this is why Honda probably needs to go for more. He needs to hit clear shots. He needs to win that one first duel clean in order to get the second one as well. And this is what I see Honda not doing, and he's struggling with it. Also, about Henny part of thing, I've never even thought about this, but Thorin, great for bringing this up. But what do you think, guys, about Coldzera? I mean, he's benched. I remember I watched your first episode of this show. You didn't know where he wanted to go.
Sure.
What if he ever goes here?
He's a much better closer than Honda, and he will. The thing is that he'll get into some of those like on bomb site late round situations that he thrives in. So that is like, I feel like they wanted Opper, but Cold's kind of secondary, so it could maybe work a little bit there. Bringing it back to reality though, like I feel like his buyout for FaZe is probably just astronomical. Like
he probably wants too much money, I have to say. Yeah.
His contract is ending though as well, right? He did say that he's looking for opportunities.
If it ends, then
I think it ends by the end of the year, if not sooner.
Here's the problem. Sticko, if I could choose tomorrow, I might put him on the team and see, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Maybe he gets his career back. Maybe they go. The problem is this: if you just look where he's at in his career and his last few decisions, I get the feeling him and Fallen are in like bucket list mode in CSGO right now, and it's about either playing for loads of money or playing in a team where you can still, believe you could win the major, or at least in their brain they want to believe they haven't sort of climbed the highest mountain. Now sadly, a lot of people get trapped into that, and in my opinion, maybe for Fall it's not impossible, but the problem, as you saw in that episode, is I just don't know that for Coldzera those opportunities even exist. So if I were him being realistic, I actually think, by the way, here's an angle he wouldn't probably understand, actually. This is actually, in my opinion, the best way you get that opportunity again. You go to this team now, people know you went for less money. People know you went back to Brazil, dude. I mean, technically you live in America, but people know you sort of took a step back from the international superstar. You prove yourself. You do what Oscar just did at Tier 2. You tear everyone up in NA. You become the best player in already a top 10 level team, arguably, depending on where they were the last few months. And then here's the point. Then in a year from now, as long as you don't sign one of those fucking your entire soul away type FURIA contracts, just next year you go to the big team and get on the big international team again. Because one thing players have got to learn is unfortunately it sounds harsh, but you are sort of only as good as your last 6 months as a pro. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be as legendary as you want. You're not getting the best ever offer in your career if you've just had a year that wasn't that great. So I know what you mean, Stickle. If we're doing GM manager, this is football manager game. Yeah, I might try the move. I love it from the FURIA side. I don't even mind the open part. By the way, if any fucking team could run 5 rifles, it's surely FURIA. Like, if anything, you could probably get over half the problems they have doing that. It's just that I don't know if Cold Zero on his side would. I mean, it sounds mad to a fan, but pro players, especially if they've ever been number one and they were, like, you know, for a long time the best, it takes them a long time before they'll ever, like, acknowledge they were, you know, in any way part of the problem or in a slump or whatever, you know. They just live in the world where, you know, if everything was perfect and exactly how it was for me 3 years ago, I'd be as good. And I think he's in that mode personally.
Yeah, I just want to bring the Guardian storyline real quick.
Sure.
He was probably waiting for an opportunity after Navi.
He was. He thought he was going to get a big team, mate.
Yes,
he thought he really would.
Yes. I mean, he made it pretty clear before that he wants to win the major.
Yes.
He's been a major finalist for a few times. Boston Major, he had 4 championship points on that one. And he still didn't win it. And I think he was waiting for the opportunity that he will get offer from a team that is capable of winning a major. Look how it ended. He was inactive for 1 year. No one wants him on the team right now because he didn't play for a long time. He might be good in FPL, in streams, in faces, whatever. But he will not get opportunity unless he proves himself in lower tier team. For example, Oscar is doing. So Cold Zera, if he's watching this and he has I just don't want him to make a mistake that some players already did, because he's obviously a legendary player. I'm just bringing this up as an idea. Hope he knows better. I'm 100%. Everyone knows better. But I just want to bring this up that this is an actual opportunity for him, and maybe an option that he wants to go forward.
I would say for all players, by the way, like all the ones who are in that category, Kenny S, you're included, motherfucker. The best thing you could have done for your career, no joke, was immediately be playing in some double pony type team and carrying the shit out of it. Literally, that would get you back in the storylines tomorrow. The worst thing you can do is sit on your ass after 6 months of bad or underwhelming play and hope that people are just looking back through fucking memory books going, oh, remember 2016? That was no one's doing that. Everyone's looking at the future and right now. So there's a lot of players, because Guardian's a great example. I get it. If you've been at the top as long as he has, you think, well, surely they don't forget that. It's like they don't, but they just don't think it's that year anymore, mate. They have to know that in 2021 you could carry the game. And he's a great example, because I've seen him play like FPL. He looks good, but the pro players are going to think, well, would he be like that in a scrim? Does he care anymore? Best way to prove it is just go beat the same fucking teams in tier 2. Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.